ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀਓ। ਜੈਤਸਰੀ ਮਹੱਲਾ ਪੰਜਵਾ। ਆਏ ਅਨੇਕ ਜਨਮ ਭ੍ਰਮ ਸ਼ਰਣੀ, ਉਦਰ ਦੇਹ ਅੰਧ ਕੂਪ ਤੇ ਲਾਭ ਹੋ ਆਪਣੀ ਚਰਣੀ ਰਹਾਓ। ਗਿਆਨ ਧਿਆਨ ਕਿਛ ਕਰਮ ਨਾ ਜਾਣਾ, ਨਾਹਿਨ ਨਿਰਮਲ ਕਰਣੀ। ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਕੈ ਅੰਚਲ ਲਾਭ ਹੋ, ਬਿਖਮ ਨਦੀ ਜਾਏ ਤਰਣੀ। ਸੁਖ ਸੰਪਤ ਮਾਇਆ ਰਸ ਮੀਠੇ, ਨਹੀਂ ਮਨ ਮਹਿ ਧਰਣੀ। ਹਰ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਤ੍ਰਿਪਤ ਨਾਨਕ, ਦਾਸ ਪਾਵਤ ਹਰ ਨਾਮ ਰੰਗ ਆਪਰਣੀ। ਸੁਖ ਸੰਪਤ ਮਾਇਆ ਰਸ ਮੀਠੇ, ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਨ ਮਹਿ ਧਰਣੀ। ਹਰ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਤ੍ਰਿਪਤ ਨਾਨਕ, ਦਾਸ ਪਾਵਤ ਹਰ ਨਾਮ ਰੰਗ ਆਪਰਣੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, today's ਪਾਵਨ ਪਿੱਤਰ ਹੁਕਮਨਾਮਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ from Sachkhand Sri Harmandir Sahib is on Ang 702, blessed to us by Guru Arjun Dev Ji Paatshah Ji in Jaitsree Raag of Panjਵੇਂ Paatshah of 5th Guru Sahiban. Guru Arjun Dev Ji Paatshah Ji today is saying to us, and the way I was reading it in the morning, it felt like Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paatshah Ji was taking hold of our hand and embracing us and showing us that path of how to do an Ardass, how to actually beg before that one, before Vaheguru Ji, how to Sangat Ji cry out from inside after having that, coming to that realization that, you know what, it feels like I'm stuck in this dark well, stuck in it in such a way that feels like I'm just going round and round and not seeing a way out. And what is it that has caught me in this well? It's the pleasures of the comforts of this world. I thought that consuming and expanding on my comforts in the way I live, if I've got the gadgets that I need, if I've got this, if I've got that, if I make my bed more comfortable, if I do this, I thought that was going to do it all for me. I got caught up in that well, not realizing actually that this is a very dark place. And then Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paatshah Ji takes hold of our arm, and then they take us through this journey of surrendering, falling to our knees, begging from inside. Let's listen to what Guru Arjan Dev Ji Paatshah Ji is saying to us today. Aaye anek janam pram sharani. I've come to you where now? I've come to Aaye, main aa gaya. I've come to Sharani. I've come to now your sanctuary. I've come under your protection, meaning that Vaheguru Ji, that nothing else has actually saved me. I thought expanding on these comforts in this life that they will all save me, meaning save me from what? They will save me in the sense of bring some form of tranquility within my mind. I thought that they would bring some form of fulfillment inside of me. Sangat Ji, but we continue to doing these things, but no matter how much wealth we accumulate, people say that, you know what, all I want is to have people around me that show me love. Sangat Ji, but that's just another form of getting stuck in that little well, that dark well, of even to that point of saying that, you know what, all I want of other people is love. But Sangatji, it doesn't work like that. Because in this life, in this journey, on this path, on this walk, we're going to come across so many different types of people. And Sangatji actually saying that that's all I want from them is living in a place of non-acceptance, is living in such an illusionary place in our mind. But what we want is actually, the truth is that we want to go inside, deep inside, and connect with that one Vaheguru Ji that is that prem, that is that love. Just like Pacha Ji, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, Pacha Ji say to us that Chatra Tatra Disa Visa Hoye Phailyo Anurag. They're saying that Vaheguru Ji is that one that is Phailyo, Philriya Hoya. That is just, Punjabi ch kehde ne oh khilriya pya sara. And that's what Phailyo means. Phailyo means it's just spread out. What is it that Vaheguru Ji that is spread out? Kehde Phailyo Hoye Anurag. Kehde that form of love, the embodiment of love. And Sangat Ji, we might think that, well, actually, isn't it that love is just an emotion that we are seeking? So then in which way is it that Vaheguru Ji, that God is that embodiment of love? Sangat Ji, in this way, that Vaheguru Ji has no expectations from anyone else. Just like Paatshah Ji tells us, kehde til na tamaye. Kehde ek til barabar vi tamanna nahi us Vaheguru Ji de hirde de andar. Kehde not even a little sesame seeds worth of that tamanna, that trishna has Vaheguru Ji got inside of them, pyareo. Meaning that not wanting anything back from anyone, not having that expectation from anyone, because for them it's all about what we've got inside of ourselves. So Sangat Ji hoye phailyo narag, that Vaheguru Ji is the embodiment of love, that not having that even little sesame seeds worth of that desire of wanting something back from someone from what they have been providing them. Being absolute, that form of being unconditional, that not discriminating, of showering everything equally to everyone, no matter what. So Sangat Ji, Guru Arjun Dev Ji Pachi saying kehde aaye anek janam pram sharani. Kehde so I've come into your sanctuary, kehde but kehde aaye anek janam. Kehde this has been going on for so long. Anek janam, for so many different lives. Anek, countless of lives this has been going on for. Sangat Ji, just because we can only recall of this life, just because we've only got conscious memory of this life, but it doesn't mean that we've not actually had other lives. They said it's been going on for anik janama. Brahma means that I've been in this delusion, I've been wandering around lost, but now I've come to you, Vaheguru Ji. This is now the benti. This is now saying to Vaheguru Ji that save me. Udar de, udar meaning, this de meaning my body. Udar de, udar means to save me. Udar de, this body meaning save these senses of mine from just being completely lost and wandering around. Sangat Ji, you know, constantly these eyes are taking in so much information. So much energy is taken up by what these eyes are looking at. Anything that we do consumes energy, Sangat Ji. And then what happens is, sometimes we just feel a bit drained because so much is going inside of these eyes from now, especially now. Instead of appreciating Qudrat, instead of appreciating nature and looking at those beautiful colors, that green, but we're consuming so much with these eyes through our social media and what's going in. But Paach is saying, Udar de, save these senses of mine, save this body of mine. Andkoop, I'm in this Andkoop, koop means well, Sangat Ji. And then it's translated to pit in the actual translations, but it's not a pit. Koop means a well. And means this well where it's completely dark. I can't see anything. Te labho apni charani, Sangat Ji, and then the benti comes, it's saying te Utte Lavo Apni Charani. It's saying, attach me to your feet. Attach me to you, Vaheguru Ji. Attach me to your Shabad. Give me that Shabad that will connect me to you. And Sangat Ji, Ardass asal vich udo hi nikaldi hai. ਆਪਾਂ ਵੈਸੇ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਉੱਤੋਂ ਤੋਂ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਈਏ, ਹਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਸ ਪੰਥਿਕ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਾਮਿਲ ਹੁੰਨੇ ਆ, ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਖੜਦੇ ਆ, ਪਰ ਅਸਲ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਹਾਰ ਕੇ, ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਡਿੱਗ ਕੇ, ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਉਹ ਤਕਲੀਫ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਪੁਕਾਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਨਾ, ਅਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, what is an ਅਰਦਾਸ? Ardass is actually that. When from inside we are surrendering, from inside we are crying, from inside it doesn't matter that even though the Ardass is done every day, the Ardass, Sangat Ji, we stand and we just do it because it's something that we have to do. But an Ardass, a true Ardass is that. True Ardass is that when Baba Nand Singh Ji would stand, that pyareo, today sometimes we struggle to even put our hands together like this. And we just about have our hands together, but Baba Nand Singh Ji would stand in Ardass with their hands together with all the way up to their Sangat Ji koniyan tak, up to their elbows. Before standing before Guru Granth Sahib Ji Sache Paatshah Ji. And every day that awaz would come from inside, that voice deep from inside would come. That Jeta samund sagar neer parya tete augan hamare. That this voice would come from inside. And Sangat Ji, ek hunda kuch utton kehna, par ek hunda kuch andro kehna. Sangat Ji, Guru Paatshah Ji teach us this. Guru Arjun Dev Ji Paatshah Ji say to us, kende man nahi preet mukho gand lavat. They're saying it doesn't matter. We can speak the right words from outside. Kende that you have got this way about your words and you know how to tie knots with your words. Meaning that you know how to get around and you know how to. So Sangat Ji, we might be saying the right things with our tongue. We might even be saying the correct pangtiyan, the lines from Guru Granth Sahib Ji, from Gurbani, the right Gurbani might be recited with this tongue. But the truth is, Sangat Ji, man nahi preet. But if that from inside, that connection isn't there to those words that we are actually speaking, because remember, this path is beyond actual language. Kende pakhya pao apar. Paatshah Singh kende eh ta jehdi asal vich the language Paatshah Singh is all about pao. Is that prem, bhavana, where it's coming from inside, deep from inside. When we do an Ardass, Sangat Ji, it's got to be heartfelt. It's going to be coming from here, from inside, and truly we'll see the magic happen. Sangat Ji, these are things I have experienced in my own life. Before Guru Granth Sahib Ji Paatshah Ji, begging Guru Granth Sahib Ji Paatshah Ji, and then you see Guru Granth Sahib Ji Paatshah Ji doing the magic. ਪਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਅਸਲ ਪੁਕਾਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਕਈ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਸਾਂਝੀਆਂ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਪਿਆਰਿਓ. Not everything we are able to share, but ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, some of these things can just really help people. And that ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, but all I can say is that let me tell you a little story, not of an Ardass that I've done and I've seen the magic happen, but Sangat Ji, once I was sat in front of in the Darbar Sahib, in the presence of Dhan Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Sache Paatshah, and Rehra Sahib Ji ki Bani was being read, which those of you may be watching might not be familiar with Rehras. It's one of the evening prayers that the Sikhs do. And sitting before in the presence of Guruji, of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, in the Darbar, and Rehras was being read, and I just had a mere thought. A thought came, oh, that'd be great if I got to do something like that one day. And Pyareo Mahapurkh Tan Baba Gajan Singh Ji, they came off stage and they were walking across the Darbar Sahib to go into the langar. And as they were walking across, Sangat Ji, and the reason why I'm sharing this is that sometimes I might give an example of 500 years ago, but this is, Sangat Ji, an example of about 20 years ago this happened. So it's very relatable, and it's something that I personally experienced. Sangat Ji, I had a thought in the presence, looking at Guru Granth Sahib Ji, I had a thought that, oh, it'd be great if I got to read Rahras one day on stage. And in that thought there was a bit of pride as well, and the pride was, I'm sure I could do a great job of it. But the thing here, what I'm sharing is the power of this. So that was a thought from inside, and that thought then became an Ardass. It became an Ardass. It became a request before Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And what I was actually saying was, hey Guruji, that it would be great if I was given this opportunity to sit on stage to read this evening prayer, read Ardass Sahib Ji ki Bani. Bhai Ji was walking past, Baba Gajjan Singh Ji walking past. They looked at me, and this is whilst the Diwan is still happening. They just looked at me, and they said Guru Sahib Ji ta forne bhi padde ne. And they said that Guru Granth Sahib Ji Pach Ji even reads thoughts. And they said that, they looked at me, they said, you don't always have to go and plead and put your hands before other human beings. They says, you don't need to go around running around to even saints. They said these words to me, being a saint, being from the house of saints themselves, being somebody that had surrendered to a great Mahapurkh themselves, Tan Baba Ishar Singh Ji Kalera Wale, and then Tan Baba Gurdev Singh Ji, Bhai Ki Samad Wale. And Baba Ji, Bhai Ji, Baba Gajjan Singh Ji said this to me. They said, Nai, kende Santa de agge kende hath jodan di even lod pendi. Kende you don't even need to go around running around. And very specifically said that to me, and then said, kende Guru Sahib Ji kende forne bhi padde ne, will read your thoughts. Sangat Ji, I didn't make no connection that I had that thought about reading Rahras. That was gone. Bhai Ji went and sat down inside of the langar hall, and then after the Ardass I went into the langar hall, and Sangat Ji, Tan Mahapurkh Baba Gajjan Singh Ji looked at me and they said, haan appa bhi pad sakde hain. They said, yes, we can read it as well. And I thought, huh? Read what? Kende koi nahi, kal nu tusi wari la liyo, tusi pad liyo Rahras. Kende tomorrow you can have an opportunity. Why don't you read Rahras Sahib tomorrow on stage? And I was just like, whoa. I said, hey, Tan Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Sache Paatshah. And Sangat Ji, that's just one example. And remember, I had that little niggly thought that, I've got a decent voice. I think I can make a good job of it. It wasn't like a conscious thought, but it just came into my mind. And it was to the point that, look, Sangat Ji, main tanu pata, appa kuch nahi andar rakhi da. I don't tend to keep anything inside. And one of the thoughts actually was, well, the guy that's reading at the moment is a bit out of tune. And Sangat Ji, let me tell you that Guru Granth Sahib Ji Pach Ji listens to that inside benti, to the inside requests. Mahapurkh picked up on it. That was my point, but let me even answer this now. Let me answer even that point of where I had that thought of pride inside of me, of that I could make a decent job of it. So the magic is, Sangat Ji, that Guru Granth Sahib Ji Pach Ji heard even that thought. But let me just take it further. The next day I came and I sat with so much confidence. I read Rahras Sahib Ji ki Bani in these kende na rajda ragan de vich, in all these fancy tunes. And Sangat Ji, Bhai Ji shouted from inside, from the langar hall, kende haan inne kadi Rahras nahi padhi agge, kinniyan galtiyan banai janda aa. They said, has he ever read this before? Look how many mistakes he's making. And you know the thought of pride that was there as well, bang, that was smashed. And it took me about, I think, at least 2 weeks to then rectify all the mistakes I was making, at least. Then I wasn't allowed to do it for the next 2-3 weeks. Khair Sangat Ji, Apa bas Ardass benti karni apa that where we are stuck in our lives, whatever habit you are struggling with, if it is you're struggling to wake up early in the morning, you're struggling to Sangat Ji stop using bad language, you're struggling to, you're constantly getting agitated, frustrated, you haven't got much patience. Sangat Ji, whatever it is in your life that there is a struggle, today Sangat Ji, aao apa ardas kariye. Let's say to Sadhguru Ji, Udar de andkoop te, Udar de, Vaheguru Ji, save me from this dark well that I am stuck in. Udar de andkoop te, labho apni charani. Sadhguru Ji, attach me here, Vaheguru Ji, attach me to your charan, to your holy feet. And Sangat Ji, and now after telling you my little experience, and there's many more that I can't share outright with the Sangat at this moment in time. Hopefully I can write some of these experiences down and one day they can be shared and read. But Sangat Ji, but that will give you that faith that there's this world beyond what our mind can imagine, and there's energy all around us that is listening to our thoughts that go out there. Pyareo, ardas karo aithon deg ke, doing ardas, I'm going to do it from here, not from here, from here. Aithon hirde cho ardas karni pyareo. Ardas is done from the heart, not from just this tongue, not with this tongue, not just what comes out of this mouth. Rahao gyan dhyan kich karm na jana. Never be afraid to actually say as it is what your existing state is. And if the truth is gyan, I have no experience and knowledge of Vaheguru Ji. Dhyan, if I'm not able to remain in constant meditation of that one, kich karma na jana, I don't know actually how to do righteous acts. Nahin nirmal karni, and I've not whatever I am doing, my karni, whatever I am doing in this life, it's not nirmal, it's not pure. And Sangat Ji, and we can't hide from that one. And that's the truth, that sometimes we try and deceive ourselves in this false pretense that everything's okay. It's like this, you know what? That no, I'm all good, I'm all positive. But Sangat Ji, you know that Vin bolya sab kich janda, kis aage kiche Ardass. But Sangat Ji, that one that we are going to be putting our request forward to, saying Vin bolya, without us saying to someone, I'm all good, thalyo andro and tutya pyareo bura hal. Somebody might be saying, yes, I'm all good, but broken from inside. Kende vin bolya. But you know that one that is sitting inside of us, that Vaheguru vin bolya, sab kich janda. He knows everything. We may be able to deceive others with our words. We're saying, yes, it's all good, it's whatever, you know. And Sangat Ji, we might be able to deceive our mind even. We might be able trying to convince ourselves and saying, nah, I'm alright, you know. But what about the one that is sitting inside, the one that is all knowing? The one that Pachi says, Antar Jami Purkh Badate Sharda Man Ki Pure Sangat Ji. What about that? Vin bolya sab kich janda. Kende kis aage kiche das antar jami purkh badate. Sharda man ki pure. Kende, you know that one that is the inner knower that knows everything. Sharda man ki pure. Kende, but that the one that fulfills us of our mind. Sangat ji, there's no harm. It's not putting ourselves down. It's not that. We're not saying, I'm terrible, I'm rubbish, I can't do it. It's not saying that. It's saying, Vaheguru Ji, I'm your child. I am like this. The truth is, Sangat Ji, you know this path can only start not from believing in God. We've got nowhere to go if we start believing in God. If we say that yes, Gyan, Dhyan, I've had no knowledge means knowing of that one yet, but I come to you with an open heart. And when we come with that authenticity of that, I don't know you yet, I don't deny you, but I've not experienced you. We don't need to believe in God then. We come with an open heart. And then we come from this place of Gyan Dhyan, Kich Karm na jana nahin nirmal karani. And then we beg, we say that yes, this is where I am. I could do with some support. And what support do we want? And then we beg for that support. We say, Saad sangat ke anchal lav ho, bikham nadi jahe tarani. Can they saying that Saad sangat ke anchal lav ho, Sangat Ji, in the company of saints, Saad sangat ke anchal. Anchal Sangat Ji means the hem, of grabbing onto the hem of what? Of that sangat of sadhus. That sangat where there is a high vibration. That sangat where they have overcome the pleasures and the comforts that we get stuck in this life, Sangat Ji. Satguru Ji Paach kende Saad sangat ke anchal lav ho, bikham nadi jai tarani. This nadi, this river of life, kende is so difficult to keep flowing in this nadi. We keep trying to go backwards and fighting and doing all sorts. Kende jai tarani. Kende, I want to know how to actually flow in this river and tarani, and how to actually swim and how to just go along. Kende, but I need Saad sangat. Sangat Ji, what is Saad sangat? Saad sangat is that collectiveness, that group where there is this high level of vibration, of where there's pure yearning for Vaheguru Ji from inside. Sangat Ji, we talk about Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is that when you know there's a vibration in somebody's heart of what Sache Paatshah Ji talk about in the next Pangti. They say that Sukh Sampat Maya Ras Meethe Eh Nahi Man Meh Tarani. Sangat Ji Paatshah kende Sukh the comforts, Sampat the possessions, Maya this illusion, this Maya that won't stay here forever. Kende that is impermanent. Sukh Sampat Maya. These are all forms of Maya, Sangat Ji. These things that aren't here, they're not permanent. They don't give us that eternal peace. Sukh, Anand, Ras Meethe. Kende the ras of it, the pleasure of it seems so sweet to us for the comforts that we have, that maybe our phones, maybe what we can do off our phones, the comforts of clicking a button and turning on our central heating, whatever it is for you, these beautiful beds, whatever it is, Sangat Ji, these cars. Kende Paatshah Kanle kende Ras Meethe. Kende they've become so sweet to us, these pleasures. But Paatshah Ji saying, kende be careful. Kende there's nothing wrong with you having all of these things. Nothing wrong with it. Kende but now this is when it can become a problem. Kende ehe nahi man meh tarani. Kende what you don't do with these pleasures and comforts is you don't instill them, implant them deep into your mind. When now that all you're thinking about is these pleasures and comforts, I can't do without them, I need more of that, and that this is what is gonna give me happiness, is that if they constantly take over our mind, that's not what you were supposed to do with it, Paatshah Ji saying. And then Sukh Sampat Maya. Sangat Ji, I was saying, what is that? What is that Kalyug? What is it? What is the difference between Sat Sangat and being amongst company where we could call that company of Kalyug? Sangat Ji, everything gives off vibration. Something I myself has experienced in my life, that when you're amongst those people where their aim of life is, all we want to do is pay off our mortgage. All we want to do is, yes, how can we earn that little bit more? How can we do that more so we can then get this as well? And the whole life, everything, the whole being is revolved around wealth, worldly comforts, and gains of thinking about this mortgage, how they can do this, how can they can do that, how can they strike another deal. Sangat Ji, when you're in that, and because that's now gone into their mind, but those that have got that instilled in their mind, that is giving off a vibration. Sangat Ji, that is giving off a certain level of energy. And Sangat Ji, that vibration is then in the air. And then if we are, let's see how to word this, if we're in our journey yet, where we're still very much influenced by any energy that is around, and we haven't yet got to that point yet where we are aware and where we're very conscious of what is happening and what is going on, and where we're very unaware. So then what happens is the energy, the air, that it influences you. They don't even have to say anything. And sometimes it will be you that actually instigates and actually starts the conversation, and that conversation will be around money, will be around work, will be around mortgage, will be around payments, about this, about tax, about all of the. I'm not saying, Sangat Ji, that these conversations don't need to take place. But what I'm saying is that if that goes, that's all our life becomes about, and everything is revolving around that now. Nahi man mein tarni. That's what Guru Sahib Ji means. Yes, these are things, essential things in life that we just need to get done. But you will end up engaging your whole conversation. You actually then get caught up by that. Then you'll come home and say, oh yeah, you know what? They've nearly paid off their mortgage. That's crazy. Like, look where we are. We're still stuck here. We need to do more. We need to, and then we forget about meeting Vaheguru. We forget about serving others. Our whole then aim starts to become about, let's see what we can do as well to get there. That becomes then our aim. Sangat Ji, that's when we're around those people constantly that are Sukh Sampada Maya Ras Meethe. And then but in Sad Sangat, there's a different vibration. How do I know I'm in Sad Sangat? Is when now that vibration that is going out from somebody is that yearning for Vaheguru Ji, that yearning to serve humanity, that to better this planet, to constantly just to rise above Kaam, Krodh, Lobh, Mohankar, and that energy of pyar, of absolute love that is there. Sangat Ji, that's when you know you're in Sad Sangat now. So so that's why we beg for that. Sad Sangat ke anchal labh ho. Attach me to that Sad Sangat, where that vibration is there, that where it rubs off on me, to then live a higher level of life, to vibrate on a higher level of not just Maya, not just accumulation of wealth. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬਿਖਮ ਨਦੀ ਜਾਏ ਧਰਣੀ ਸੁਖ ਸੰਪਤ ਮਾਇਆ ਰਸ ਮੀਠੇ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਨ ਮੈਂ ਧਰਣੀ ਪਚ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਾ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਧਰਨਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹਰ ਸਮੇਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ that's not what you're going to take inside of you ਹਰ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਤ੍ਰਿਪਤ ਨਾਨਕ ਦਾਸ ਪਾਵਤ ਹਰ ਨਾਮ ਰੰਗ ਆ ਭਰਣੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ this is the yearning. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Paatshah is telling us here, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Guru Arjun Dev Ji Paatshah is telling us here, Har Darshan Tripat, only with the Darshan, with becoming one with Vaheguru Ji, Tripat will we actually ever become satisfied and content. Until then, there'll always be this chase of either wanting that I expand on my social status and how I become more popular and I become more known, everyone's talking about me. Paj kende das pavat. When we become that servant from inside, we fall and surrender. Das pavat har naam rang aparni. That surrendering ourselves, becoming that servant, Sangat Ji. What do we then gain out of that? Pavat har naam. The name of God comes and sits in our heart. What it means for the name of God to sit in our heart, you can listen to the katha called Being With You, which was done yesterday. Rang aparni. And Sangat Ji, then I actually then decorate with myself with the colour of love. So Sangat Ji, from today's Hukamnaama Sahib, is about being very, very weary of where we are in our lives. Are we just caught up in the comforts and the pleasures of the possessions? And if so, Sangat Ji, it's recognizing that I'm in this dark pit or dark well, as Badshah Ji puts it. And then for us, Sangat Ji, to do a heartfelt Ardass from inside, and it will be heard, Sangat Ji. It will be heard, for us to be saved and to be amongst that vibration in what we call Sad Sangat, is where instead of thinking, oh my God, about my mortgage, about how can we catch up with them, and realizing the purpose of this life, we are not come to this life to see how quick we can pay off our mortgage, Sangat Ji. That is just a part of life that we do. We're here to meet Vaheguru and then serve humanity. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.